Go through upper trap, right? So manual stretching is really easy. We're just taking one attachment site away from the other. So I'm going to slide my hand underneath Jake's neck here, and it's just broadly just cradling his neck right now. And we want to take one attachment site away from the other. So one attachment site up here at the nuchal line, and then the other all across his AC joint and superior scapula, right? So big broad hands through here, and I'm really just going to take one attachment site away from the other. So very simple, an easy way to stretch broadly throughout the whole muscle. Next we're going to do contract relax, so I can take one attachment site away from the other. Is that okay on you? And then I can have him just activate that muscle, like, okay, we're not wrestling here, so just gently lift your shoulder up into my hand there. Good. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax that. Let them fully relax, and then you can take up some slack. That wasn't very much motion for you to see, but we're taking up slack that direction. Right? The other motion that I could have him do, because it's upper trap, is to side bend this way. So I have my hands underneath here, so it's often really helpful to use some tapping, which direction you want them to go. So if I had him in this position and say, go ahead and just take your left ear down towards your left shoulder. Great, hold that. And I give a countdown so that they know when to relax. 3, 2, 1, relax. Let them fully relax, and then we can take up some more slack. Okay? So that is contract relax. Now we can do some isolated stretching. And so if we found an area within upper trap that we really wanted to focus some stretching in that area, so number one, right, the fibers run this way. I'm going to use pincer palpation. I can locate that taut band and a trigger point within that, and we can use pin and stretch. So I'm going to bring my superior hand back in that same position. For pin and stretch, here are the steps. Number 1, shorten the muscle. So to shorten that muscle, I'm going to move Jake's head into left side bending, and then I'm going to pin this portion of the muscle down. Okay, I'm going to pin it going away from the direction that I'm going to stretch. So I'm going to move his head back into right side bending, so I'm going to pin that muscle going that direction, that way, and then lengthen the muscle again. So I'm feeling stretch underneath my thumb. I think Jake is probably feeling stretch along that muscle underneath my thumb. And now, but I've only brought his head back into neutral. So this is a great way to stretch a muscle without going into or with limiting the amount of joint range of motion that we have to go through to get there. Okay, now that was kind of hard on my thumb, so I can use the heel of my hand in the same area. So number 1, shorten. Number 2, pin. Number 3, stretch. Okay, and we can still add on contract relax to that as well. Okay, and then there is isolated stretching. So if we wanted to stretch on either point, either side of a trigger point, we could do that in certain muscles. It really only works super well in muscles where you can use pincer palpation. And you guys saw this in the lecture for those patients with neck pain. So we'll do this for upper trap here. So if there is a trigger point in mid portion of upper trap here, I'm just going to come on either side of that, pin down, so pinch down, and then separate my fingers. Okay, so we provide a local stretch to that portion of the muscle. And this just becomes hard on your hands, so I don't tend to do this as much. Okay,